What's going on, guys? This is Damien from the Lookout, and today I am bringing you how to stop set 20 Cumber guide. Yeah, we had a vote on the community page. You guys said, like, Damien, we want more of these how to stop guides before regionals come, and I have this Cumber guide for you. Hopefully it helps. But before we begin this video, guys, hit those like, subscribe, share buttons, help us grow. We just hit 2K and we are on our way to 3,000 subs. Oh my god, it's still so difficult to believe myself when I say this. But yeah, thanks guys a lot, and yeah, roll the video. As with all of our videos, let's start with a breakdown. So, Cumber is terrifying to fight against, so we'll start with a Cumber breakdown so that you know like what the archetype is all about. Then we'll see what's the problem with Cumber, how do we fight him, and then we will end the video with a summary. Let's go. Okay, so there are many layers to Cumber being this terrifying, and we're gonna explore all of them just so that you know how to fight him and what's the big threat here. So Cumber has the best removal in the entire game. Cumber has the best removal in the game. It's only stopped by barrier, so that's the only downside. What he actually does is he gives your opponent's cards servant. Okay, so you're playing against Cumber, he gives your cards servant. But then, thanks to Prism Planet, he can basically overlord your cards, bottom deck them, and draw cards. That's basically what he does. So he locks your cards in rest mode, then just gets rid of them and draws. Like that's one of the best removals in the entire game. The first part of the problem is Prism Planet. Prism Planet is basically what allows Cumber to draw cards, because you can use Overlord on your opponent's cards, and that's how you draw. You remove and you draw. If we could blow it up, we would cripple Cumber's draw power almost completely. But we would just stop him dead in his tracks. But unfortunately, Prism Planet isn't a green card, which means that Prism Planet has barrier. And that makes things a lot more difficult. If we want to remove Prism Planet, there are only two cards in the game that can actually do this. Xeno Cosmic Unison and the 5-drop Majin Buu. Only these two can actually get rid of this thing. And both of them are super slow. For Xeno, you need to do his -5 ability, which you can basically do on turn 4 if you have 2 Xenos in hand, because you can spend 4 energy on one and then just put the other under this one and then -5. If you get this -5 going, you won the game, basically. Your Cumber doesn't have anything anymore. He only has a leader and his draw power is crippled forever. So if you can do this with Xeno, you basically win. The same thing is with Majin Buu. If you can get Majin Buu out, you won the game. Like, you took everything away from Cumber, and then you just need to defend yourself against his leader swings. So the problem here is turn 5 for both of these cards. So it's not really a solution. It's a solution, but not the solution. The second part of the problem is the enablers, the full cards. Cumber relies on these full cards to use Prism Planet to its full potential. Without it, his draw engine is crippled. So Prism Planet basically says that when you're using Overlord from a full card, you can target your opponent's cards. With Servant, of course. And the problem here is that the main food that Cumber runs is full Assembling the Strong, which is a Z battle card, which means that it's always in his hand basically, and it has Deflect and Barrier. And if you somehow get rid of this one, he has other ones as well. So we need to stop these fools somehow. Whenever we stop them, we're basically forcing Cumber to spend resources to play other fools so that he can actually continue doing his own thing. But sadly, one of them is a Z battle card, and that really makes things a lot more difficult. Now that we know the problems, let's talk about what to do. How do we fight him? Well, unlike some decks, for example Android 21, There is no universal silver bullet which can just destroy Cumber. I would love to have been able to just tell you, hey guys, side in this card and it's basically an auto win. But unfortunately, I've spent days researching this. There is no silver bullet for Cumber. So we cannot take the easy way out this time. The deck has one big weakness which we can exploit, and that is its draw power. The key to beating Cumber is crippling his draw power. Unfortunately, this is easier said than done, because Prism Planet has barrier and he plays a lot of full cards. Yeah, that's a difficult thing to do, but fortunately he has another weakness. And that other weakness is the fact that none of his cards have any sort of protection. Only the Z Battleful has protection. Other ones, they don't have barrier, they don't have deflect, they have literally zero protection. And we can capitalize on that. Let's start with black decks. So if you're playing a black deck, you're probably playing a mirror match in a competitive environment. There is one card that can help you cripple Cumber, and that is Ultimate minus Energy Powerball. Yes, this is phenomenal against Cumber. This is a cute tool that you can use to catch him off guard, because if you have a Unison, you can play this for free. If you don't have a Unison, it costs 1, but what it does is counterattack. If your leader is mono black, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 15k power or less, ignoring barrier, and warp it. Once Cumber gets full on the board, whenever he swings, he opens this window in which you can counterattack and just get rid of the fool, because you're ignoring barrier, you're just removing him immediately. And that's one problem less. Then when he plays like other fools, there are other ways to deal with them, the ones that don't have protection. But to get rid of the Z Battle one, this is what you use. You just counterattack, remove him. Yeah, pretty cool tool, and it is free if you have a Unison. Let's move on to red decks, because red is a struggling color in the game. Red is the worst color in the game, and it really needs some help. Okay, I'll stop talking shit. You know that I'm just saying nonsense at this point. We have two cards. First off, Corin Tower's Secret Medicine. This is basically a Senzu Bean which removes something, ignoring barrier, something very small, and that something very small is the full Z Battle card. So, plus it's an Activate Battle. So, as Activate Battle for 1 energy, you get a 5k buff, and you remove a card ignoring barrier. If you are playing a slower deck, then think about Vegito. Because like Vegito avoids Smoke Dragon, and Vegito really cripples Cumber. If you can get Vegito out, and if somehow you've managed to clear Cumber's board before you do this, then you basically win the game at that point. Because Cumber doesn't have cards that he plays without skills. There is like the Z Battle card, Mai and Trunks, and that's it. Everything else requires skills. So once you play Vegito, -2, Cumber is shut down completely. And then it's all about protecting Vegito from that point onward. But yeah, these are some solutions for red decks. Now let's move on to yellow. Yellow has a relatively easy time fighting Cumber, because first off, if you're running Trunks Jita, you basically win. Because Trunks Jita has barrier. Trunks Jita has so much barrier. And everything in the deck just kind of rests something, negates attacks, prevents this, prevents that. Nothing in Cumber has any sort of protection, so you're just slapping him around with Trunks Jita. It's an easy time. But then, you know, Sin and Gogeta come along and then they beat the crap out of you. So, yeah, it's balancing, I guess. So if you want to be secure against Cumber, bring Trunks Jita. Next, we have Lord Slug, Super Namekian. Lord Slug shuts down Cumber's draw engine completely. Just shuts him down. He has barrier. Cumber needs to draw into Smoke Dragon to get rid of him. You just need to keep protecting him. And as long as this thing is on the board, Cumber isn't drawing anymore. So this is one card which can shut down his draw engine. And that's amazing. Time Magic for dealing with the 6-drop, the dual attacker, you negate and then you just lock him in rest mode. One of more expensive solutions is the SSB Z-Battle card Goku. Deflect barrier and then he can lock something in rest mode. He can switch things to rest mode. He can do a lot of things basically, but he costs 3 energy. So that's the problem with this one. And then finally, for my personal favorite deck, Golden Frieza, Frieza biding his time. This is your solution if you're playing Golden Frieza. What does this card do? Well, when you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or less, ignoring barrier, switch it to rest mode. Very important, here is Frieza's army. 1 cost. You can cheat him in basically with Frieza's Call, with your extra card. So just side these guys into the deck. Just side them into the deck, and when you're facing against Cumber, just hard mulligan for them and hard mulligan for your Frieza's Call cards. And then for 1 energy, you hit Fu, you switch him into rest mode, and then you slap him with your leader or something. You get rid of him by attacking into him. So yeah, these are solutions for yellow. Let's briefly talk about blue. I'm likely wrong, but as far as I found, blue has less hard answers to Cumber than other colors. Like, you have just seen yellow can cripple his draw power, yellow can do horrible things to Cumber. Black has a card that just gets rid of the Z-Battle card. Red also has a way to get rid of the Z-Battle card. Blue doesn't have anything like this. Blue doesn't have any hard answers, but it has a very good toolbox. And blue can stall out. It has good negates. It can stall out when it comes to Cumber. But still, it's gonna be an uphill battle for blue. Without a lot of cards with barrier, except like Ripku Boss Monster, the one that has every keyword imaginable on the planet, blue will be fighting an uphill battle against Cumber. However, if you can pull off the Zeno Cosmic Unison, you win. You win on the spot. Cumber cannot recover from you just slapping Zeno Cosmic Unison, and then what then? Like, then you took away their Prism Planet, you took away all of their cards, and Cumber is just kind of stuck there. So if you're playing blue, pray for Zeno. That's it. Now, you might not believe your ears, but this time I'm not going to shit talk green. Green actually has a very good matchup against Cumber. Green has better matchup against Cumber than most other colors, like debatably yellow. Like, it's either yellow or green, but one of those has the best matchup against Cumber, which is quite ironic, but okay, to see green like being this strong against one of the boogeymen and then just like falling apart to red. Here's the thing, green is great against Android 21, against, certain green decks are great against Android 21, certain green decks are great against Cumber, which will put green into a very good position if it weren't for red. That's the problem. Anyways, let's analyze. Both Cell and Cooler are great at denying him draws. Like, Cell can just play, if you're playing Cell, stay on the 4 drops. Don't immediately go into the 8 drop, because 4 drop has barrier, and Cumber cannot give him Servant. So you can just lock him with your 4 drops until you need the 8 drops one, and you can focus on hand destruction and just take away his hand. You're literally denying him resources. He cannot use your cards to draw anymore, and you're taking away his hand. For Cooler, just don't focus on playing battle cards. Switch them out, sideboard them for more hand destruction unisons, for more hand destruction tech, and then what happens then? If you don't have battle cards, Cumber cannot really do much to you at that point. It's the same as when you're fighting Android 21. You deny him card draw, you deny him resources, and then you just focus on taking away his hand, and eventually his hand will be gone. So yeah, these two have great tools, and besides that, Cumber doesn't have any protection, and green has a ton of removal. green has so much removal so that you can just take away his battle cards too. I unironically think that Cooler probably has the best matchup against Cumber when it comes to decks. You know, because Cooler can deny him the ability to give Servant to your cards because you don't play battle cards, except like King Cold, which stops Cumber dead in his tracks. King Cold is amazing. And then you have Charismatic Villain, you have Salsa counterplay, you just destroy all of his plays, because everything except the boss monster costs less than 7 and doesn't have barrier. So if you really want to ruin Cumber's day, you play Cooler. But yeah, Green is actually good this time around. Before we end the video, let's quickly jump into the summary. Fighting this monster will not be easy. So far, we don't have a silver bullet for Cumber. Yellow and green should stand the best chance of fighting Cumber on paper. I'm not sure how well this will work in practice, especially against very good Cumber pilots. But when it comes to being able to deny him resources, when it comes to being able to deny him giving your card Servant, yellow and green do the best job here. But they unfortunately lose to red. So that's the issue. Use minus energy ball in mirror match. Just use this. If you get your Fu out first, it's basically a free removal for the Z battle cards. Just side them in. If you're playing black, that's your way of beating Cumber. Post your ideas for good blue tech, because I don't play blue. And the only thing that I found, and I've consulted with some players, the only thing that I have found is Zeno as a thing that really counters Cumber if you can pull it off. But other than that, when I look at blue, it just looks like you need to survive, man. Like, you have counters. Good luck. So, post your ideas for blue in the comments below. And yeah, guys, that's it. Regionals are just a few days away. Good luck at fighting Cumber. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below. Are you prepared to ruin Cumber's day? Do you think that the tech that I just gave you will help you fight Cumber? Do you have ideas for fighting Cumber? Leave those in the comments below. I read all of your comments. I try to respond to everything. I love our little community. Guys, we just hit 2,000 subs. Now we're on the way to 3,000 subs. And I'm telling you, April, I'm going to reveal tomorrow something for April on Facebook. Make sure to follow us, because April is going to be explosive when it comes to content. So guys, hit those like and subscribe buttons, share the video, share the channel, help us grow, and let's see, can we reach 3,000 subs? This has been Damien from The Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.